I'm thinking about a plot for a new play.
And where do you usually take the plots for your plays?
From different legends and tales.
Oh, we know a lot of legends and tales.
Really? Can you tell me one of them?
Sure, listen. Well, there was once a very rich gentleman, and he had 3 daughters. One day he thought he'd see how fond they were of him. So he says to the first, "How much do you love me, my dear?" "Why," says she, "as I love my life." "That's good," says he. So he says to the second, "How much do you love me, my dear?" "Why," says she, "better than all the world." "That's good," says he. So then he says to the third, "And how much do you love me, my dear?" "Well, I love you as fresh meat loves salt," says she. Well, he was very angry. "You don't love me at all," says he, "and in my house you stay no more." So he drove her out of the house, and she went away and gathered some rushes and made a cape to hide her fine clothes. And then she came to a palace and asked for a job of a maid, and the people in the palace called her Cap-o'-Rushes. Well, one day there was a great dance in the palace, and the servants were allowed to go and look at the grand people. Cap-o'-Rushes said she was too tired, so she stayed at home. But when they were gone, she offed with her Cap-o'-Rushes and went to the dance. And the young prince fell in love with her the minute he saw her. He couldn't dance with anyone else. But before the dance was done, Cap-o'-Rushes slipped off, and away she went off home. The next morning the other maid said to her, "You did miss a sight." "What was that?" says she. "Why, the nicest lady you ever did see, and the prince, he wouldn't dance with anyone else." "Well, I'd like to have seen her," says Cap-o'-Rushes. "Well, there's to be another dance this evening, and perhaps she'll be there," said the maids. But come the evening, Cap-o'-Rushes said she was too tired, so she stayed at home. But when they were gone, she offed with her Cap-o'-Rushes and went off to the dance. The prince was happy to see her again. He wouldn't dance with anyone else. But before the dance was done, Cap-o'-Rushes slipped off, and away she went off home. And the next morning the other maid said to her, "You did miss a sight." "Oh, what was that?" says she. There she was again, and the young prince never took his eyes off her. "Well, I'd like to have seen her," says Cap-o'-Rushes. "Well, there's to be another dance this evening, and perhaps she'll be there," said the maids. But once again, come the evening, Cap-o'-Rushes said she was too tired, so she stayed at home. But when they were gone, she offed with her Cap-o'-Rushes and went to the dance. The prince was happy to see her again. He wouldn't dance with anyone else. He gave her a ring and told her if he didn't see her again, he would die. Well, before the dance was done, Cap-o'-Rushes slipped off, and away she went off home. And the next morning the other maid said to her, "You did miss a sight." "What was that?" says she. There she was again, and the prince wouldn't dance with anyone else. "Well, I'd like to have seen her," says Cap-o'-Rushes. "But there will be no more dances," said the maids. The young prince tried every way to find the beautiful lady, but go where he might and ask whom he might, he never heard anything about her. And he got so ill that he had to keep to his bed. When Cap-o'-Rushes heard the prince got ill, she made some porridge for him, and she slipped the ring into it. The young prince ate the porridge and saw the ring. "Send for the girl who made it," says he. So Cap-o'-Rushes came. "Did you make the porridge?" says the prince. "Yes, I did," says she. "Where did you get this ring?" says he. "From him that gave it to me," says she. "Well, who are you then?" says the prince. "I'll show you," answered the girl. And she offed with her Cap-o'-Rushes, and there she was in her beautiful dress. Well, they were married in a little time, and it was to be a very grand wedding, and everyone was invited, and Cap-o'-Rushes' father was invited as well. Before the wedding, Cap-o'-Rushes said to the cook, "I want you to dress every dish without salt." "Ugh, that'll be nasty," says the cook. "Doesn't matter," says she. Well, the wedding came, and they were married. And after that the company set for the dinner. When they began to eat the meat, it was so tasteless they couldn't eat it. And when Cap-o'-Rushes' father tried one dish and then another, He burst out crying. "What's the matter?" asked the prince. "Oh," says he, "I had a daughter, and I asked her how much she loved me, and she said, 'As much as meat loves salt.' And I turned her from my door, for I thought she didn't love me any more. But now I understand that she loved me best of all. Where is she now? She might be dead." "No, father, here she is," said Cap o' Rushes, and she goes up to him and puts her arm around him. "Oh, my beloved daughter, how happy I am," said her father. And so they lived happily ever after.
What an interesting story. I think it would be a wonderful play. Thank you, friends. I'll start to work right now.